Let's start this Maimer. Chaim's not even on. Huh. I may have, if not for the Verbringen Shabbos, skipped it.
I'm here.
Oh, you're here. Good. So we're learning it, even though it's only Rashi Prakim and very cryptic, but we're going to learn it. We'll do our best. We won't spend a lot of time on it. Just get the general idea. So everybody has the Maimer. So this is the first night of Shavuos, h'tשכ Gimel. The Rebbe said a Maimer after at dawn, as he used to do in those years, after Tikkun Leil Shavuos, the whole Olam, if they hadn't already, ran to the mikveh. We once told the story the first time it happened. Nobody realized it was going to happen. It was quite an awesome thing. Of course, I was never there, but told by those who were. The Maimer, dawn, Shavuos morning. You can imagine, with a little bit of imagination, what that's a unique moment. For Chassidim, every Maimer is Matan Torah. Every Maimer, every Verbringen is, especially a Maimer. But a Maimer, mamish, the time when the Torah was given, a whole night saying Tikkun, and then to all of us, just a Maimer. Modi de Gezach. Okay, so let's begin. So there's a second Maimer at the Verbringen Shavuos, the end of Shavuos. That's a long Maimer, which we'll learn, God willing. So the pasuk says, "V'chol ha'om Roim es and all the people saw the sounds. V'yara om, and the people saw v'yanu, and they trembled or moved. V'yamdu merachik, and they stood from a distance. Upirish Rashi, what's noya? He said moved. So Rashi says a noya lashon zeya, trembled. They trembled, was shook up from the sounds and from the lightning. As the pasuk describes earlier, and there were sounds and thunder, and lightning. And all the people in the camp trembled. Pretty frightening description. And that's the question. You have to understand. Only Chassidus would ask this question. What's the dread and the trembling? That had to be by Matan Torah. Why do I say only Chassidus would ask the question? Musa is going to ask the question? Of course not. That's how it begins. This is it's terrifying. Reward, punishment. God sits in judgment every moment. Of course, it starts that way. But Chassidus asks, well, God's love loves us. This is about a relationship with Him. That's how it begins with pachad, with dread and terror. This is how God shows His love. What is this? And the Nakuda of the answer is the Hine Yedua. It's known. It's known. He brings him a few sources here from the Rebbe Rashab. Here's the quote. This next few words are the essence of the whole explanation, and the words are Shaheder hu koidim lahavaya. Translation: Heder, nothing or removal, must precede beingness, existence. No. By being. Right? In order for an entity, a new entity, to emerge, the old has to be removed. Make place for it. If you want to build on what you have, okay, on the contrary, you want to build on it. But if it's not a question of building what I have, but something novel and radically new, then you got to make place. The old order, the old construct, the old whatever it is, in anything. It's in anything in life, from business to everything. If it's something radically new, we can't come in with the old mindset, with the old mechanisms. It has to be removed, and then the new can emerge. The classic example in Chassidus is the seed and the oak tree that it will produce. As long as the seed hangs on to being a seed, I'm a seed, then fine, you can become a bigger and bigger seed and never an oak tree. For a radical emergence, the seed has to literally rot, disappear, or germinate and become one with the earth. And then the earth unlocks the incredible power that's there latently, and something radical, the oak tree, the fruit-bearing tree emerges. And many other examples brought in Chassidus. Okay, so right now we've got the answer, basically. Something radical is happening here by Matan Torah. And therefore, there has to be the letting go before. That's the trembling, that's the awe. As he continues, is head that of a siluk lagamre. When the objective here, what's happening here is a havaya chadash, a new being, a new entity. So there has to be heder. Heder means, anybody? Heder means lack of. Vesiluk lagambri, in complete removal. Now, likewise, applying this to Matan Torah, what's the new? What new entity is emerging? Then Yidden became like a new entity. Yidden became a new entity. Let's learn further and try and grasp this. What happened by Matan Torah is Haya ben Neshamas Yisrael Gilui Oir Atzmi. By Matan Torah, Hashem reveals His essential light. That's the translation of those words. We could rephrase that by saying, by Matan Torah, the essence of the neshama is revealed, which was not revealed before. Halachically, friends, before Matan Torah, we all had the designation, our ancestors, as Bnei Noach. Not Jewish. This is not an easy subject. As Roim Jewish or not, because he's the first Jew. So on some level, yes, on some level, not. Pnimius, yes, but not Bechitzonius. Not halachically, certainly not. Where do we know the whole laws of Gedus? There's nowhere in Torah that says when a non-Jew wants to convert, this is what you do. How do we know the laws of Gedus? The answer is, it's the biggest subject almost in the entire Torah. The whole description of how Yidden became Yidden, that's the laws of Gedus. There's Milah, and there's Mikveh, and there's a Korban, and there's accepting Nasav and Nishma, accepting the mitzvahs, and a Korban. The special Korbanos that Moishe Rabbeinu brought on behalf of Klal Yisrael through the young people, the Naros, youth, that completed the covenant. There's a Meredith Kabir of the Rebbe on it, the Yukim in the Rambam. There's no Korban nowadays. There's no Korban nowadays. So it seems like it's integral to the conversion process. So how is it? So Rebbe explains there, that it's not. It's not. The conversion process, even though from the Lashonis it seems like it is, it's on par, but after the whole beer, it is not, even though the ger, every ger will bring such a korban when Mashiach comes. But nonetheless, the gerus is absolute b'shleimus without it. And just as an aside, it's a beautiful sicher. Landmark sicher. Akoponim, so I'm saying, this is what he's saying down the Maimed, but Matan Torah was revealed, Oir Atzmi. Oir Atzmi, me being that the fact that the neshama is a part of the Eibishter, that was unlocked and revealed. That's what Gerus does. The Gerus, the conversion process, as you all know, the famous dik of the Ad Yisrael. The Lashon in the Gemara, when the Gemara speaks about the laws of a convert, etc., it's always Gersh and Yisgaya, a convert that converted. Ask the Ad Yisrael, no, it's a goy that converted. Why is he called a convert prior to the conversion? He explains, because it's really a neshama, and very high neshama, and had to come down into Klippa, because this has a koach to elevate all of those deep embedded sparks in the country, very great neshama, and therefore it's destined to be, and it's going to be, and the whole process of Gerus only unlocks that, which is exactly what he's saying here. The neshamas Yisrael are rooted in Atzmos, but that was not revealed till Matan Torah. And in order for this radical change to happen, there has to be the letting go before. You thought you knew who and what you are. We're this tribe bound up with a common ancestor, Abraham, and we believe in monotheism and whatever. It's all true, but that's not who you are. It's something far deeper and essential that you will have actually no choice in going further. But it's who you are. Till now, it's by choice. And many Jews opted out in Mitzrayim. You want no part of this whatever it is. And they left. They stayed behind. But now this changes by Matan Torah. So going further. Start with the Chief and Simon, it changes by Matan Torah. The Hindo, now when it comes very Kabbalistic and so on, we'll try and explain it. The Hindo, Bechinas Kav, what's revealed now is the middle Kav. What does Kav mean? Somebody? Line. Middle line as opposed to what other lines? Right and left. The three pillars upon which the world stands. Torah, Avoid, and Gemilas Chasadim. Actually, the order is not. Torah is the middle one. Avoid is left. And Gemilas Chasadim is right. And the connection between the three, this imagery, why are we talking about center, right, and left? What does right represent? Revelation. What does left represent? Holding back, containment. Symbolic, because a right-handed person expresses with his right hand. For a left-handed person, that's his right hand. His left hand is his right hand. It's symbolic. The hand which you express. What does the middle represent? What's the middle there for? Higher than both, higher than right and left, higher than chesed and higher than gevurah. The essence, the I am of God. Chesed, I reveal chesed, that's my right hand. My left hand, God says, is when I reveal judgment and gevurah and din and mishpat. And the middle is the I. These are attributes, but the middle is not an attribute so much, even though we call it Tiferes. But Tiferes means beauty and harmony. How do you have harmony, which the mind will talk about, different levels of harmony? Only when it draws on essence. Then opposites confuse, because they all come from the same essence. So Matan Torah is revealed, the Kavem Tzoi. What's the mile of the middle Kav? Unlike the right side and the left side, Chesed, as Chesed progresses downward, it undergoes changes. The Tzimtzum changes it. Chesed Atzilus is one level of brightness, and Chesed the Bria is radically dimmer. To use just the simple imagery of the tzimtzum and light and concealment. And there's a fundamental change from the chesed as it is in its source, the way it plays itself out all the way down to Olam Hazeh. Person does an act of kindness, so the feeling in the heart is one expression of chesed. A piece of bread that he gives, so it's a technical, it's a bottom line, do something about it. But it's a far cry, this act of giving the dollar, putting the bread, is a far cry of the revelation of the chesed benefesh, compared to the feeling, the stirrings of love and benevolence and kindness in the heart. As it comes down and is translated, the whole expression of chesed undergoes radical change. Likewise, gevurah. There's a way the gevurah is in the nefesh, and the way it finally translates in is active, the judgment, the ruling, etc. It's a far cry from the attribute of gevurah as it is in the seichel, in the heart, and then in the seichel. However, Tiferes, he says, is this lo yischalkus. The middle, it doesn't, notwithstanding that it goes through the whole process of the way it is in the nefesh and then finally expressed. It's lo yischalkus. I'm just going to give some explanation now, a little bit. The words you just heard now, what do they mean? What do you just say now? Chesed and gevurah, to express it. So where does it all start? It starts in the seichel, then in the midas, and then you implement it. And all of these stages, it's a completely different world. The way chesed is in the mind, the way it is in the heart, the way it is played out. Clear? Likewise, Gevurah. He's saying Tiferes is L'lo Yischalkus. It's the same throughout, on all of the levels of expression. So what does this mean? L'chor, again, based on other places, because the difference between Tiferes and Chesed and Gevurah is this, friends, in a word. Tiferes is about you. Chesed is about me, kind person, the Gevurah person. Compassion, push it at the simple level. Compassion starts with the need, you. Chesed is, I'm a benevolent person. Avraham is by nature Bal Chesed. He's looking, even on the third day of circumcision, he's unfulfilled. He's got to do his hospitality. So he's looking out to find somebody. Where does it start from? His need to express Chesed. He's a Bal Chesed. Gevurah, a person is naturally, Gevurah says the opposite. He doesn't want to see anybody. Don't bring me, whatever. But Gevurah starts with, it's the self. The nature of compassion is to begin with the need. It's about empathy. It's the other person. That's the whole origin of this whole. Why am I getting involved? Not because I'm a Bal Chesed, because I'm a Bal Gevurah, but because there is a need. That's true compassion. It starts with not self, but the other. If it's not self, but the other, then it's uniformly in all of the expressions of my compassion. Throughout all of it, it's not lost. It's all about you, you, you. That's the unchangingness of it all. That's what a true compassion. What is chesed? Chesed says, you need, we'll flood you, give you. Gevurah says, you don't get anything, got to deserve it. There's no free meal. Gevurah is lamata lamaila. Gevurah says, you got to earn it yourself. You're on your own. And compassion, the nature of it's a mixture of both is, we're not going to give unconditionally, but we'll give in such a way that will inspire you and ba'odah you. Push a diffusion of the two. A compassionate giving takes into completely what defines our relationship is the other and their need, and therefore there'll be a bit of chesed, a bit of holding back, etc. This isn't about expressing my chesed or my gevurah. And both of them are absolute, and both end up with corruptions down the road. Avraham produces the spoiled child Yishmael, the indulged kid, and Yitzchak, the angry child, Esav. Because this is an education, we're not faulting him, that he was chesed and he's gevurah. But because it's about me and not about the kid, then down the road, there's a yanika. After a lot of tzimtzum down the road, things go awry. Only Yaakov's children is Tiferes. They're all mitosei shlema, because Yaakov is Tiferes. And what's Tiferes? The whole nature of the chinuch is not my nature, but nothing to do with that. What does this kid need? And that's Torah. That's between Torah and Gemilas Chasadim, classically, and Korbanos, which is Gevurah, fire, sacrifice. Gemilas Chesed is giving. Torah is compared to water, top of the waterfall, bottom of the waterfall, it's the same water, nothing changes. Torah remains the same Torah, l'mayla, l'mata, it's impervious to impurity. Torah is the objective truth, doesn't become compromised. Lo yischalkos, there's never any change, because it's the objective truth, and the objective truth is, basically, the kavanah pnimis is, what do you need? Okay, we said a whole lot of words now. We have some kind of idea. We'll plow through it, Be'ez Hashem, tomorrow. Today's story.